this meeting?
Yes, I am. It is connecting now.
Excellent.
And we're good to go.
Pastor Jordan, are you ready to begin today's
Yes,
meeting?
sir.
Okay, let me start recording. And we are rolling. Good morning, everyone. I am Daryl Eatman, Chief Examiner and the host of today's Civil Service Commission meeting. Leanne Guzman, Executive Assistant to the Director. She is our co-host. Please be aware, if you are disconnected during the meeting, please click on your email or calendar invite to rejoin the meeting. Please keep yourself on mute until you are called upon. If you're using a phone, use *6 to mute or unmute yourself. Once the Civil Service Commission has addressed your agenda item, you may leave the meeting. We have a quorum of our commission members. This time, I give the meeting to Pastor Gregory Jordan.
Good morning, everyone, and please forgive our delay. It was unavoidable. We're going to start with our roll call rather, and our commission members: Michael Flickinger, Vice President.
Present.
India Pierce Lee, Secretary.
Present.
Cyrus L. Patton, Member.
Present.
And Gregory Jordan is present. Our counsel, Patricia Aston.
Present.
Office of the Civil Service Commission Staff, Rachon Long, Executive Director. Leanne Guzman, Assistant to the Executive Director.
Present.
Daryl Eatman, Chief Examiner.
Present.
Lila Abrams Fitzpatrick, Business and Operation Manager.
Present.
Anthony Hinton, Examiner Supervisor.
Present.
We have a court reporter present.
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Could you please give your name for the record?
My name is Sarah Spence. I'm with Vincent Mancini.
Thank you. Our agenda guest, McKinley Weaver.
Present.
Geoffrey Walters, Sergeant, Division of Police.
Present.
William Mashesky, Acting Lieutenant, Division of Police.
Present.
Kat Houston, Operational Health and Safety Unit Manager.
Present.
Thomas Schlomer, Assistant Director, Division of Fire.
I am present.
Did I pronounce your name correctly, sir?
Thomas Schlomer.
Thank you, sir. Jeremy Caldwell, firefighter.
Present.
Jason Snyder, Assistant Director of Public Safety. Orlando Wheeler, Commissioner, Division of EMS. Alexandria Nichols, Director of Public Works.
It was kind of more annoying because
Ursula Harris, Manager of Public Works.
present.
Gary Ebert, Attorney.
Present.
Lauren Phillips, firefighter.
Present. Present.
Dennis Phillips, firefighter.
Present.
Thank you. Moving on to item 2 on our agenda today is accepting of today's agenda.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second.
That's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 3, approval of the minutes from the June 28th, 2024 Civil Service Commission meeting.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second. Lee.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 4, approval of the minutes from the January 10th, 2025 Civil Service Commission meeting.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second. Lee.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 5, approval of the minutes from the January 24th, 2025 Civil Service Commission meeting.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second, Patton.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan abstain. That motion was approved. Item 6, approval of the routine matters.
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second, Lee.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Item 7, consideration of the request from the Department of Public Works to establish the classifications of Commissioner of Urban Forestry, Commissioner of Public Auditorium, and Manager of Administration.
Good morning, commission members. This is Leanne Guzman. And for the record, I need to make a correction to that item. It should be the consideration of the request from the Department of Parks and Recreation. They recently split from Public Works, so my apologies for that.
Thank you. And that will be so noted in the minutes. Or do you need me to read it again with Parks and Recreation? Or can we just note that in the minutes?
That's fine. Noted in the minutes.
Okay. Is
And
there
I
any
bel-
more information that you want to give us on this, on these items, or are we just going to vote?
No, I believe agenda guest Ursula Harris will be speaking on this, so I will allow her to give you the information.
You have the floor, Ms. Harris.
Good morning, everyone. As previously stated, effective January 1st of this year, Department of Parks and Recreation was established. So in that city record agreement, it was requested that we establish these 3 requested positions.
Thank you. Do I have a motion from the commission?
Motion to approve. Flickinger.
Second, Patton.
It's been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved.
Thank you.
Item 8, consideration of the request from McKinley Weaver to be reinstated back to the classification of patrol officer with the Department of Public Safety, Division of Police. Do we have, Mr. McKinley Weaver, are you present?
Yes, sir.
And do we have representation from the city?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Jeffrey Walter.
And Sergeant William Mashevsky.
Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to state the rules that you each have a total of 15 minutes that you can present with your information pertaining to this item. And we're going to start with the city. And so you have the floor.
Good morning. On March 1st, 2024, Mr. Weaver attended a pre-disciplinary hearing to address internal investigations wherein he was alleged to have engaged in improper procedure and or conduct. Mr. Weaver was charged with 26 disciplinary specs ranging from Group 1 to Group 3 violations and was subsequently found guilty of 23 of those violations ranging from Group 1 to Group 3. Chief Director Drummond issued Mr. Weaver a 25 workday suspension, placed him on step 2 of the sick leave abuse program, issued a letter of second warning, and placed him on a 60-day work performance plan. From there, Mr. Weaver was issued his suspension, ultimately completed his suspension on May 12th of 2024. Immediately after his suspension, Mr. Weaver had his days off, May 13th and May 14th. On May 15th and May 16th, Mr. Weaver called off sick. On May 17th, 18th, and 19th, Mr. Weaver was on his days off. Mr. Weaver then called off sick May 20th. Mr. Weaver then worked May 21st, had his days off May 22nd, 23rd, then called off sick May 24th, 25th, and 26th. That would have been reviewed for another pattern of sick abuse at that time. Mr. Weaver then subsequently resigned, pending new discipline. The Civil Service Commission rules, specifically 8.43, bar to reinstatement following resignation, state that wherever an employee or officer in the classified service has resigned while charges of misconduct were pending, Such resignation may not be withdrawn. Based on the information I provided, it is the recommendation of the Chief of Police and the Chief Safety Director of Public Safety that Mr. Weaver not be reinstated. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Weaver, you have the floor.
With some of those charges, even with the charge packet, some of it I don't agree with, but I still accepted the suspension and came back. But while we were in the hearing, even with the union rep, they even recommended that I not be placed in that same district again, because it was clearly I was having issues with a couple of the sergeants there and the lieutenant there. So it was either they recommended that I go to a different district or it's just a different shift. And that wasn't given, which I already knew when I went back after my suspension, I was gonna go right back to that same situation from my shift. And I still took my suspension and I went back to work. And first day, it was the same thing that I was dealing with from the beginning. And so I called my union rep and they told me to, try to stick it out. They're gonna try to get me out. And it got worse. So I called and then that's when he told me, just figure out, so I went home and then I came back the next day. It was same issues. I didn't even know I had pending charges that he just spoke of. I didn't even know. Nobody even said anything to me about it. But it was, from my recollection, I was only back for a couple of days, and the same issues that I was having before was the same. And I just felt like I was pressured to resign, because when I was at my hearing, no matter what, I tried to get help. I tried to call to get out of the district, go to a different district, a different shift, and no one was helping me. So I felt I was pressured to just resign because I wasn't getting the help that I was looking for. And I didn't want to work in that same work environment where it doesn't matter what I say. If it's my voice between a sergeant or a lieutenant, then it just felt like my voice wasn't being heard. So that's the reason I resigned.
Thank you, sir. Is there any rebuttal from the city?
Yes, how you doing, sir? This is Acting Lieutenant Mashevsky. There was, I know that, Weaver talked about how in the district, he had some issues there at the district. It was all related to discipline. There was an issue where he went to an assignment where he went to look for, somebody in a hospital. He had a call up there. He said that he couldn't find the person, so the sergeant went out there to look for him, and they found him asleep in his own car. Also, there was several instances where he didn't complete OH1s and necessary reports. So that's the issues that he was having, and that was the pending discipline before he left.
Thank you. Mr. Weaver, do you have any rebuttal?
I don't understand why I would have pending OH1s when I just came back from a suspension that I got. So, and I wasn't back that long to even have that. So that didn't make sense. And even when I came back for the instance that he spoke of about the hospital thing, I went there, wasn't feeling well. I was on FMLA because of I have asthma. So I was on FMLA, and even that day, no excuse, but I was just really out of it. I was on that run for a long time, and that happened, and I spoke to that sergeant about it. So I don't even know. I don't know again what the OH1 that they're speaking of, because when I came back, I didn't have any OH1s to do, and even before I went on my suspension, some of the work that I was supposed to do, one of the sergeants there made sure I got it all done before I went to serve my suspension. So when I came back off suspension, there shouldn't have been anything there, because that sergeant that night, I don't remember which night that I started my suspension on. I came in for my shift, then I think around 1 or 3 a.m. that's when I was able to leave to go home to start my suspension. But before that, I stayed in the lobby with that sergeant to make sure whatever work I needed to complete was completed. So if there's a which one that's not done or anything, I don't have any. I would know because he made sure I finished my work before I even went on my suspension.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions from the commission? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to deny the request. Lee.
Second, Flickinger.
It's been moved and seconded to deny the request. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. The request was denied. All right, moving on to item 9, consideration of the request from the Department of Public Safety, Division of Fire, for an order relative to Jeremy Caldwell, firefighter, in accordance with Civil Service Rule 9.10, Section 14. Is Mr. Caldwell present?
I am present.
Thank you, sir. And who's speaking on behalf of the city?
Kat Houston, sir.
All right, thank you. And since this is medical, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion to go into executive session. Flickinger.
All right, hold on just a second, man. Let me table that motion for a second. Mr. Caldwell, are you opposed to going for this test? Are you willing to go in for it?
Could you
Or
clarify?
the examination that they're requesting, are you opposed to it?
Kind of feel like this is the cart before the horse.
Okay, don't say anymore.
That's fine, sir. I just wanted to know yes or no if you're opposed. Yes, you are opposed. No, you're not.
We are opposed.
Okay, then put us in.
Or let my union speak
Just a
here.
moment, sir. Just a moment. I have a motion on the floor to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
Secondly.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. All in favor?
Lee, aye.
Flickinger, aye.
Patton, aye.
Jordan, aye. That motion was approved. Mr. Eatman, would you please move us to executive session, please?
Absolutely. Mr. Caldwell, is anyone assisting you in this matter?
Yes, my local 93 reps. Jake Conis, Sandy Vito. Ernie.
Okay, Jake Conis. Okay.
I think they're all on the same.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. We're here.
Okay, let me stop recording and then I'll move everyone.